Okay, it's been 2 months since Lou and I left London and headed to Vietnam. We're now in Thailand, but I wanted to explain to you why we did that. I wanted to give you a bit of an insight into some of the thinking behind why we left London and how long do we plan to be gone for? Are we ever going back to the UK? Someone asked me, are we settling anywhere here in Southeast Asia? So I wanted to just try and explain as best as I can what some of the thinking was. And also, I get a lot of messages on Instagram and I try and look at them and see them come in, see if there's multiple questions about the same thing coming in, then I'll address it in a video and stuff like that, but haven't really got time to be replying to each of them. But sometimes I see a message that gets completely the wrong end of the stick, and it makes me feel like I need to justify or explain myself, which is never really, I think, a good way to go. But one video, I think I put something on my story that was just, it was about the local area that I was living in London. And London, in the best part of a decade that I've been there, has felt increasingly unsafe. I've had a phone nicked out of my hand, don't like that. I have friends who have been mugged at knife point. I've lived very close to 4 different murders in my time living in London. That definitely is something that's just part of living in a major city, I think. And I posted something once that was so there was another murder in my area and road had been blocked off and all this sort of stuff, and I posted something on my story saying something about glad we're leaving London. Because when you know you're leaving London and things are happening, there is this sense of relief. And when you know you're leaving London and you're getting annoyed at the traffic, there's a sense of relief. When you're leaving, when you know you're leaving London, you start noticing things that annoy you about London, then you think, oh, I'm not going to have this anymore. One of those things is just it's such a densely populated place and there's a lot of crime. You just think to yourself, I know there are places in the world that are better to live in than this. So I wanted to quell, is that a word? The idea that we've moved out of London because we hated London. That's absolutely not the case. We love London. I spent 10 years of my life, best part of 10 years of my life, carving out a career in London. I owe so much to London. It is truly my favorite city in the world. And to anyone who thinks that I am anti-London and I've left London because it's all problematic and political reasons and all this sort of stuff, absolutely not the case. However, there are definitely considerations that we've made that have made leaving London, the prospect of leaving London, more exciting. But the real reasons we've left are because Lou and I are adventurous people. We love the outdoors. I think I make that pretty clear. We love nature. We want to wake up and have access to this sort of thing, It's currently, what time is it? It's probably 10:30. Currently 10:30 in the morning. Done a bit of work this morning and I've headed out now for a bit of a walk run on this trail. And I've just been scouting out a spot, because it's supposed to be a rest day for me. But I'm scouting out a spot for a VO2 max session that I'm doing tomorrow, which is just 3 minutes, full pelt incline 5 times, which should be fun. And I found that hill, and now I'm just on a bit of a walk really in nature. But yeah, we want this, we want access to this, on our doorstep, and we've been seeking that out. We're also very curious, we want to travel, we've always wanted to travel. One of the things that, we really bonded over when we first met was this desire to go do the unconventional, to travel, to see the world, to try and find a way to have a remote job and experience life to its fullest. and not get trapped in this cyclical pattern of weekend, week, weekend, week, weekend, week, working just to survive, hand to mouth. We wanted to try and break free from that, and we always knew that figuring out a way to travel, work abroad, stay agile was really one way of doing that. And 2 years ago, we were in Vietnam. Lou had some work out there. She was working for a conservation charity based out here in Southeast Asia and was working with the sanctuary for a while. I came out and visited, which was cool. First time for me in Vietnam, and we fell in love with North Vietnam and just wanted to come back, really. And so we made a sort of pact to each other that no matter what, we would figure out how to come out to Vietnam in 2 years. And we did it. We set a date, and we only missed that date by a month because we had a birthday to go to. And we did it. And really, the main reason for this move is to just try and squeeze more out of life. That really is the reason. We believe that you get one shot at this, and we want our environment to be an environment that contributes to good health, an environment that contributes to good mental health. We want to live a slightly simpler life. We want to explore, we want to see the world, we want to embrace ourselves in different cultures where we can. We want good weather. We don't really want the short days of winter. That's really it. It's not that complicated. It's not that deep. We just set a dream, set a goal, worked incredibly hard to get there, and have now made it. We've made it to the point we were once dreaming of. And it's an amazing thing. When you've worked so hard to, in my case, leave the 9 to 5, you risked it all. I did, risk a lot by leaving the 9 to 5. It's not a dead set certainty that you're able to survive. It's now been a year since I did that, and things are going pretty well enough to allow us to move away from home and spend good amounts of time in each place that we go to, explore and see the world and work whilst we do it. So yeah, we just wanted a massive lifestyle shift. Since coming out here, it's not been all plain sailing necessarily. Vietnam was great, and we'll be back in central Vietnam when the weather's better. But we were up in Hanoi initially, and Hanoi is great. We love Hanoi as a city, but not amazing access and easy access to this sort of stuff. Not as easy as we're looking for. So yeah, we ended up at a place called Eco Park because there was just so many typhoons coming over, which it was late season typhoons, so usually not that many, but a lot of rain, a lot of storms. So we sort of situated ourselves for a month in Eco Park, which is a funny little place. And then we left Eco Park and came to Thailand, and now we're here in North Thailand, and we're just loving it, to be honest. We didn't really expect to love Thailand as much as we do. We sort of reluctantly like it. But what a place. I mean, it's very easy where we are. I'm just sort of turning up to a trail on my moped and heading out for a run. Everything's about 10 minutes away. The views are insane, unbelievable. And you just feel endlessly grateful. Just feel very grateful the whole time. It's a crazy feeling when you've both worked incredibly hard to grow an audience online and to offer some value, and then it's working and things are working, you're building this personal brand and you're trying to make a business out of it. It all feels like hard work, and that's great, and I have a lot to thank myself for, of course, But I do just overly feel grateful for you, for people that support me through the podcast, through this new venture of long form video, through social media, whatever. It really does mean a huge amount. Like if you have ever come across a creator that you really like, you like their content, try and support them. Try and actually engage in their content, send them a message, tell them how much that you like their content. Your support doesn't have to be financial by any means. It can just be, hey, really like your stuff, keep doing it. It is unbelievable how much that means to a creator. When you work so hard, when you put yourself out there, you shove a camera in your face and you work so hard to build an audience and do it for the right reasons. When people tell you that it's meaningful, it's so powerful. It means a lot. And so I'm just endlessly grateful for people like you who share my stuff, who engage with my stuff, who like it, who follow it, who subscribe, who listen. And yeah, I can only offer my words of gratitude, but I can also continue to make better content, keep it real, and keep it interesting. That's it. That's all I had to say today. It was a bit of an unstructured video. I'm trying to just put my phone to landscape and do videos for YouTube as much as possible. Some more edited, some will just be more like this, I guess. I think unplanned, unstrategic. But yeah, that's it. Yesterday I ran up here, right, and I ran through a spider's web, which was, and I keep going through webs and stuff, but I ran through a big one and it freaked me out how big it was. And then I looked down and just here was a spider about this big, and it was black and yellow in the middle, and it was hovering like here from all the spider's web, and I smacked it and I freaked out. Because I don't know how poisonous things are. I mean, I don't know, I swear it's always the craziest. If you watch David Attenborough, it's always the maddest animals that are in Asia. A bit scared about, like, oh, what is that spider? That's it. This is why we moved out here. We want to squeeze as much as we possibly can out of life. We're planning on doing this for like a year, see what happens. But yeah, we're not planning on settling anywhere anytime soon. So if that answers your question, then that's that. But we'll be out here looking for sick trails, looking for cool places, looking for cool races, and that's it. All right. Thanks for watching. See you next time.